Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Veteran Mountain Man on your Spiritual Thursday adventure, and today we are going to discuss the concepts of cultural appropriation and how they have been used throughout centuries but were never called cultural appropriation and what they really were called. Now, the left is very fond of using this term cultural appropriation anytime anyone who does not appear to be part of a ethnic group espouses or studies or interacts in a civilized manner with another culture. However, this has also started to strip Western nations of their own culture as they force this diversification without assimilation, because assimilation is cultural appropriation. And I think they really don't understand what culture really is. And the fact that we are currently in a culture war is because of this. All cultures assimilate. All cultures appropriate. It's a natural progression of the human mind and thought processes. As humans evolve, as societies evolve, as nations grow, prosper, recede, redevelop, which is the natural cycle of a society, their culture mutates. Culture is a continually evolving aspect of human society. We aren't the same cavemen that painted our dead with ochre and put grave goods and buried them with a simple stone that didn't even have a carving or a sigil and went on. We are not that primitive culture anymore, but that practice of burial has continued and things about it have evolved. To the terracotta warriors of Asia and the modern American embalming methodology. All of these things have evolved, and these cultures continue to evolve. I mean, the symbology of the Easter egg, for example, of Christian practice of Easter. The egg, oestra, was a pagan symbol of fertility throughout Europe and the steppes of Russia. And in Russia, the Russian Orthodox Church used sacred painted eggs in healing rituals because the egg was seen as a symbol of fertility. And this was appropriated from the previous pagan groups where the egg was a symbol of fertility, of feminine fertility. And so these groups continue to appropriate and build one step on the other. It isn't a destruction of a culture to admire it and want to interact with it on an appropriate level. It's actually showing respect, admiration for that culture. Trying to integrate into that culture shows understanding and an evolved consciousness, not an attempt to destroy it. It's part of the reason I speak German. I served in Europe when I was in the United States Army, primarily out of Germany. And so I learned German, and I learned to interact with the German citizens, and I learned what was okay to say and what was not okay to say, and what kind of food I should be looking for on their menu, and where different cultural restaurants and ethnic groups were. And to be fair, I even had some run-ins with some of the Turkish population in Germany who thought I was a German. Why? Because I assimilated. And that is because I had respect for the German culture. However, we have cultures that aren't assimilating, and then they're screaming cultural appropriation when we try to assimilate others. So one of the things as we pagans and we conservatives need to do is we need to state that assimilation is not destruction. We're a minority group, and we get called out quite a bit. The pagans and the witches and the spiritualists are trotted out all the time to show kooky, weird patterns of behavior, particularly the much more liberal ones of us. Yet the conservative pagans need to start speaking up and being honest with ourselves that culture has always appropriated. Culture is continuously evolving. And taking aspects of a foreign culture and integrating them into your own shows a respect for that culture and an inclusiveness of that culture, not a rejection of that culture and not trying to take over that culture. Well, I hope that this food for thought gives you some understanding as to where I stand on cultural appropriation. I hope you take up my challenge and speak out that this is not cultural appropriation we're looking at. This is cultural evolution. And I hope that you all come and see me again next Thursday. Once again, if you'd like to follow me directly instead of here on Unapologetic Pagan, you can come on over to YouTube or VidMe. Also, if you connect through my Minds account, you can interact with me in public debate, or you can leave a comment here on Unapologetic Pagan. I will respond. I speak with him every week, and he looks forward to posting my individual vlogcasts every time I get one set up. And I'm more than willing to discuss with you what the topic is about. And I'm more than willing to do it in a public setting because I want everybody else to hear it. That way they can get their questions answered too. Well, thank you once again for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day.